Women don't love the nice guy. They love the guy who knows when to walk away, the guy who makes her feel uncertain, the guy who doesn't flinch when she tests him, ignores her when she's playing games, and never, ever loses control of his emotions. That guy owns her mind. Men who react emotionally. Weak, disposable, controlled. Women will say they love a man who is in touch with his emotions, but the second you show too much of them, they lose all respect for you. She doesn't want to admit this, but she wants a man who is a rock, steady, untouchable, unbothered. The moment you let her emotions dictate your actions, she sees you as just another weak man. And it's not just women. Bosses, friends, society, everyone is watching how you respond under pressure. They are waiting for you to slip, to react, to reveal your weaknesses. And the second you do, they own you. This is the harsh reality most men will never understand. But today, right now, you will. Because after this video, you will never react the same way again. Comment below. I control my emotions. No one controls me. If you're ready to watch this till the end. Most men will never wake up to the reality that the world is built to control them through their emotions. They will waste their lives reacting to everything, getting angry at a woman testing them, getting frustrated when things don't go their way, chasing after people who don't respect them. The truth is painful. Women don't respect emotional men. Society exploits emotional men. Your boss, your so-called friends, your enemies, they all want you emotional because they know that emotions make men weak. Men who get angry over small things, who chase after women the second she pulls back, who overreact to insults. They get used, played, discarded, but a man who controls himself, a man who is unreadable, unshaken, silent, that man is a force of nature. In this video, you're about to learn why reacting makes you weak, how women use emotional manipulation to control you, how society exploits your emotions, and most importantly, how to become untouchable. Watch till the end, because this is the video that changes everything. Number 1. Emotion equals weakness. Most men walk through life completely blind to the fact that their emotions are being used against them every single day, at work, in relationships, in social situations, everywhere. From the moment you were a child, you were trained to react emotionally. Your parents scolded you when you didn't cry. Your teachers praised you for expressing your feelings. Movies told you that real men pour their hearts out to women, cry in their arms, and show vulnerability. And what happens to the men who actually do this? They get crushed. You've seen it before. Maybe you've even lived it. A man opens up too much to his woman. She loses attraction, gets bored, and leaves. A man gets angry at work. His boss sees him as unstable and promotes someone else. A man lets a minor insult get under his skin. Suddenly he's a joke to everyone around him. This world is not designed to reward men who are emotional. It's designed to exploit them. Let's talk about relationships. Women don't respect emotional men. They never have. They never will. They might say, I want a man who expresses his feelings. But watch what they do. They chase the men who ignore them. They obsess over the men who don't react. You know this deep down. You've been that guy who sent long texts when she pulled away. You've been that guy who got frustrated when she was acting distant, tried to talk about it, and she just got colder. And what happened next? She lost respect for you. She started seeing you as weak. Why? Because the second you let her dictate your emotions, she knew she had you. Women test men constantly. Sometimes they don't even realize they're doing it. She picks fights over nothing to see if you'll argue. If you do, you fail. She ignores your messages to see if you'll get emotional. If you do, you fail. She talks about another man in front of you to see if you react. If you do, you fail. But the man who doesn't react, the man who doesn't chase, the man who stays in control no matter what, that man wins every time. She might not like it. She might even get frustrated by it. But she will respect you for it. And deep down, she'll want you more than ever. This is where most men destroy their own relationships. A woman starts acting distant, and he panics. She suddenly isn't as affectionate, and he starts overcompensating. She flirts with another man, and he explodes in jealousy. He thinks, if I just show her how much I care, she'll stop pulling away. Wrong. The moment you react emotionally, she sees you as weak. She doesn't respect you anymore, and once a woman loses respect, it's over. The reality is harsh, but it's the truth. Women are wired to follow strength. They cannot be attracted to a man they do not respect. And the second you let your emotions dictate your actions, you prove to her that you are not a man she can respect. Think about this. A man who stays calm, controlled, and indifferent in the face of emotional chaos is the rarest kind of man. He is the kind of man that women cannot get out of their heads. Why do you think women stay obsessed with the guy who never texts back? Why do you think they keep chasing the guy who doesn't care? Because he's unpredictable. Because he doesn't let them control his emotions. And when a woman can't figure you out, she keeps coming back for more. This doesn't mean you have to be cold or heartless. It means you need to be in control. Control is what makes a man powerful, and control starts with your emotions. If you cannot control yourself, you are at the mercy of the world. If you snap at every insult, chase after every woman who pulls back, get frustrated every time things don't go your way, you will always be weak. But when you master your emotions, you become a man that women respect, men fear, and the world cannot break. Most men will never reach this level. They will live their entire lives being puppets to their emotions. But you won't, because you've made it this far, because you're listening to this and realizing that this is the truth. If you want to take your power back, it starts here, right now, with this one decision. Never let anyone control your emotions again. Never let a woman, a boss, a stranger, or even your own feelings dictate your actions. A king does not react to a peasant's insults. A warrior does not flinch when tested. A man of power does not allow himself to be controlled. The next time a woman tries to bait you into an argument, stay silent. Watch her squirm. The next time someone insults you, expecting a reaction, give them nothing. Watch them get uncomfortable. The next time life throws a challenge at you that would have once made you panic, breathe, assess, handle it like a man. The man who controls himself controls everything. Number 2, the stoic response. Weak men explode, strong men observe. The difference between a man who is respected, feared, and desired and a man who is walked over, mocked, and discarded is how he responds under pressure. Every single day, people are testing you. Women, bosses, so-called friends, strangers on the internet, they all want to see if they can get a reaction out of you. They want to know if you're emotionally controlled or if you're just another weak, impulsive man. Most men fail these tests without even realizing it. A woman calls you insecure. A co-worker tries to get under your skin. Your girlfriend picks a fight for no reason. A stranger disrespects you in front of others. The average man reacts instantly, gets emotional, raises his voice, defends himself like a fool. The powerful man, he does something different. He pauses, he stays silent. He lets the moment stretch out, uncomfortable and tense. Do you know why this works? Because silence makes weak people nervous. A man who can control his reaction is dangerous, because no one knows what he's thinking. No one knows if he's going to laugh it off or burn their entire world down. Silence is power. Indifference is power. The next time a woman tries to bait you into an argument, do nothing. She says, "You never listen to me," expecting you to start explaining yourself, justifying, reacting. But you don't. You just look at her, calm and unreadable. Maybe you smirk, maybe you shrug, but you give her nothing. Now she's the one who's emotional. She's the one who's trying to figure you out. Or let's say you're at work and a co-worker disrespects you in front of others. A weak man will snap back immediately, trying to prove himself. But a man of control, he just looks at him, lets the silence drag, lets everyone around him feel the tension. And suddenly, the one who spoke first looks like a fool. Because when you don't react, people don't know what to do with you. They start doubting themselves. They start feeling nervous. A man who can control his emotions is a man who cannot be manipulated. Think about the most powerful men in history, the ones who commanded respect the second they walked into a room. They were never the loudest. They were never the most reactive. They were calm, calculated, precise. Because the moment you react emotionally, you lose control. And when you lose control, you lose everything. If you want to be a man that people respect, fear, and remember, you must master the art of restraint. Number 3, emotional attacks. Every single day you are being emotionally attacked. At work, in relationships, by women, by society itself. And if you don't know how to defend yourself, how to stand firm, how to not react emotionally, you will be eaten alive. But most men, they don't even see it happening. They walk into a relationship blind. They don't understand why a woman suddenly pulls back after everything was going perfectly. They don't see why she brings up another man's name out of nowhere. They think it's just random female behavior, but it's not. It's a test. She needs to know what kind of man she's dealing with. Is he solid, unshakable, truly masculine, or is he weak, insecure, and easily manipulated? A woman will push you emotionally just to see if you crumble. She will insult you just to see if you react. She will mention an ex to see if you get insecure. She will pull back to see if you chase. She will act emotional to see if you lose control. And if you fail, you instantly lose her respect. Because when you react to her tests with emotion, you prove to her that she is stronger than you. And if she is stronger than you, she cannot respect you. This is why women leave men they once loved. This is why they lose attraction overnight. Because the second they see you lose control, they no longer feel safe. And if a woman doesn't feel safe with you, she cannot love you. A woman wants to feel like she is with a man who is stronger than her, emotionally, mentally, physically. She wants to be led. She might never admit this, but deep down, she craves it. She doesn't want to be the dominant one. She doesn't want to be with a man she can control. Because when a woman feels like she is the strongest one in the relationship, she starts to resent you. At first, she will test you subtly. She will push your buttons just a little to see how you handle it. If you stand firm, remain calm, and pass the test, she will feel more attracted to you than ever. But if you react, if you argue, explain, defend yourself, get upset, she will keep testing, harder and harder, until one day she completely loses interest, and you will sit there wondering what happened. You will think, but I gave her everything. I showed her I cared. I was always there for her. I never got mad at her. And that's the problem, because she didn't want a man who reacts emotionally. She wanted a man who stays composed. She wanted a man who is her rock. She wanted a man who leads. Women hate weak men, not because they are mean, not because they are cruel, but because it's in their DNA to seek out strength. And if they sense any weakness, they cannot respect you. And if they cannot respect you, they cannot love you. Sometimes women question your career, your confidence, your masculinity. She says things like, I don't know if you're really as confident as you act. Are you even successful? What do you even do all day? You don't seem like the kind of guy who can handle a woman like me. She wants to see if you will start defending yourself, explaining yourself, proving yourself. Most men take the bait. They start listing off their accomplishments, telling her how great they are, begging for validation without realizing it. A man who understands power, he smirks and says, "You'll figure it out." And then he moves on like it was nothing. Now she's left wondering about you, because the man who doesn't feel the need to prove himself is the man she wants to chase. When you stop reacting, you stop losing. A woman will only respect the man who passes her tests, and a man who can control his emotions. That man wins every time. Number 4, the art of indifference. Indifference is the ultimate power. The moment you master it, you control every relationship, every conversation, and every social dynamic. Why? Because people crave validation. They want to know where they stand with you. They need a reaction from you to feel important. And the moment you stop giving them what they want, you own them. Think about the most powerful men in history. They were never emotional. They didn't waste time arguing, proving themselves, or justifying their worth. They simply existed in a state of complete control. This is why women obsess over men who don't care. Because indifference is rare. It is powerful. A man who doesn't react is a man who commands respect. A man who doesn't chase is a man who women chase. A man who doesn't seek approval is a man who gets it effortlessly. And yet, most men do the exact opposite. They explain themselves when accused. They get defensive when challenged. They react emotionally when tested. And in doing so, they expose their weakness. The most powerful thing you can do when someone tries to get a reaction out of you? Nothing. When a woman insults you, she expects you to fight back. She expects you to get defensive. So what happens when you shrug and say, "Okay," and move on? She loses her mind. Because suddenly, she has no control over you. Women need to feel your presence, but they also need to feel like they are chasing it. If she always knows where she stands with you, she gets bored. But if she's constantly unsure if she has you or not, she stays hooked. This is why men who don't text back immediately, men who don't over-explain, men who remain a mystery, are the ones women desire the most, because they never quite know where they stand with him. This doesn't mean you should be cold or cruel. It simply means you should never give more than necessary. If she asks, "Do you even care about me?" a weak man will fall into the trap. He will say, "Of course I do." Why would you even ask that? A strong man will lean back, smirk, and say, "Maybe." That one word will drive her crazy, because now she's chasing your validation. And that is the art of indifference. The less you react, the more power you hold. The less you explain, the more people respect you. The less you care, the more others care about you. If you want to truly own your relationships, your interactions, your life, you must master the ability to give nothing away. The moment you stop seeking approval is the moment you start getting it. The moment you stop chasing is the moment people start chasing you. Indifference is your greatest weapon. Use it wisely. Number 5, master the cold approach. Most men walk into a room and start talking, explaining, justifying themselves, trying to prove they belong. Powerful men, they do the opposite. A truly dominant man doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. He walks in, he owns the space, and he lets people feel his presence. Because silence is louder than words. Most men fail at the cold approach because they give away their power instantly. They try to win people over. They try to please women. They try to be liked. But what if you walked into every interaction as if you already won? What if, instead of trying to impress a woman, you let her prove herself to you? Most men see an attractive woman and immediately put her on a pedestal. They think, she's special. I need to win her over. But that is backward thinking. A truly dominant man walks in, sees a woman and thinks, let's see if she's even worth my time. That one shift in mindset changes everything. Because women can sense when a man is in control. They can feel when a man isn't trying too hard. They can feel when a man isn't emotionally invested yet. And the moment they feel that, they become the ones chasing. A cold approach isn't just about what you say, it's about what you don't say. It's about your body language, your tone, your energy. It's about owning the room without saying a word. Watch how people gravitate towards the man who speaks the least, but commands the most attention. Watch how women lean in when a man gives them nothing, because the man who is unreadable, unbothered, and unpredictable, he is the man people cannot forget. Most men will never wake up to this reality. They will spend their entire lives reacting emotionally, chasing approval, explaining themselves, trying to prove their worth. And because of that, they will always be weak. But you know better now. You understand that emotions make men weak, that reacting gives away power, that a man who controls himself controls everything. From now on, you will never react emotionally again. You will never let a woman, a stranger, a boss, a friend, manipulate you with emotional attacks. You will never chase, justify, or explain yourself again, because you are a man of control, a man of power, a man of absolute dominance over himself. Comment below, I control my emotions. No one controls me. If this video woke you up, if this changed your mindset, then you need to support this channel. Like, comment, subscribe, because the more men that hear this message, the less control society has over us. Because YouTube doesn't want this message out there. They don't want men to be in control of themselves. So if you want this content to reach more men, you need to engage with this video. This is not just another video. This is the knowledge that makes men untouchable.